Looking to grow your business? Tap into millions of monthly active users with DoorDash ads. Whether you're a local favorite or a national brand, our ad solutions help you reach new customers where they are, browsing and buying on the DoorDash app. To learn more, visit about.doordash.com and click Advertise. DoorDash ads. Reach, relevance, returns.
Hi, I'm Brandon Dorr, brand marketing reporter at Ad Age. Welcome to another edition of the Marketer's Brief podcast, our weekly discussion of news and trends that have the industry buzzing. Today, I'll be chatting with Hollie Bishop, Global Marketing Director of Product and Growth at Nothing, a UK-based tech and smartphone brand. You may remember Nothing from a stunt it pulled back in November, when it played off of Jaguar's controversial rebranding that saw that company adopt the tagline, "Copy Nothing." Hollie joins us today to talk about that moment and how it fits into the brand's earned media first marketing strategy. We also talk about the importance of design in Nothing's marketing for its new phones, the CMF Phone Pro 2 and the Nothing Phone 3A, and how Nothing punches above its weight class, despite being a relatively small new company. Here's the conversation with Hollie. Hollie Bishop, welcome to the Marketer's Brief podcast.
Hi, nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I thought our audience could benefit from hearing a little bit about you, your role, and Nothing as a company. I think some of the more tech-savvy diehards probably have heard of you guys, but maybe the layman's haven't as much. If you could break down a little bit of what Nothing is and your role inside of it.
Of course. So I'm Hollie Bishop. I'm the Global Marketing Director for Product and Growth. Simply put, most marketing touch points that you engage with, I have a brilliant team that look after. So everything from owned, earned, and paid environments. In terms of Nothing, hopefully some people are aware of who we are, but we're Nothing Technology. We were born in late 2020 from the brainchild of Carl Pei and a brilliant group of co-founders who saw the opportunity in the tech space to start something new with a very stagnant category. Tech is, I think, quite familiar. People expect the same thing again and again. And Carl and the team saw an opportunity to break out of that mold and start to develop products that truly have people in the heart, inspired by technology of the early 2000s when people were so excited of every mobile development. Every phone was looking different. Every phone had a new feature. Some of them died quite quickly, but some of them have lived on, and really bringing that joy, fun, and energy back to the tech space. So yeah, that's our aim, and that's what we're aiming to achieve.
Yeah, I thought now would be a great time to chat with you guys about how you are approaching this stagnancy problem in the tech world. Some of the tech creators I follow, I just saw them putting out videos about a new device you guys just announced.
We have just launched the CMF Phone 2 Pro, which is part of our ecosystem at Nothing, as we have the Nothing brand, which is more design-led, very structured around kind of design and quality. And then we have our CMF by Nothing, which is essentially our products that are more accessible in price range, but still pack some really bold specs and really quality user experience. What we really celebrate across both of these worlds of products is in the smartphone space, no matter what phone you have with us, you have the Nothing OS experience, which we've created an OS system that is fueled by Android, but has removed all of the bloatware that you experience with other consumer tech.
Yeah, can you explain I think this will be hard maybe because we're audio only, and what's really cool about this device is the visual component of the modularity is I think what I'm seeing a lot of like tech reviewers and creators talk about to the best of our ability to paint that picture for our listeners. Can you describe a little bit like what this phone looks like, the philosophy behind its construction?
Of course, can. So we're a really community-led business. So we really care about what our consumers want and the talents that they have. So when we started with CMF Phone 1, we launched a phone that allowed you to 3D print accessories and as said, modularity onto the back. We saw that work incredibly well. We did 3D modeling competitions. People created incredible stuff to put on the back of their phone, really kind of playful concepts. So when we did the next iteration, we looked at some of the elements that weren't so successful in phone one. So because of the original CMF phone one, you screwed off the back, it actually impacted the IP rating that we could report on the product because essentially it was very exposed to water because you could completely take off the back. So what we did in CMF phone 2 Pro is we actually made the back permanent, so it improved the IP rating, and then we created a universal cover on the back. So this universal cover then allows you to do any form of modularity on top of the phone. So it, number one, made us able to launch a much thinner phone, which people really want, that lighter, thinner feeling of their phone, but also still to allow the modularity. So we have a few accessories that you can put onto the phone, but actually we do it more to encourage everyone to be a creator and to make their phone fun and playful.
I think probably important to note this is not released in the US, right?
So it is released in the US under a beta program. So we would love to have fully launched our products, but there are a few challenges that make it possible to officially launch. So we launch under a beta program that allows the customer to know that whilst they can get their hands on the product, we don't expect it to deliver as a fully serviced product in the market.
What are some of the challenges of this market that you guys have to think about?
Many challenges. So in terms of phones, it's ensuring that we get full coverage. It's a very large market and ensuring that the user experience is the quality that we want. This impacts how we build the phones. And for us, it's we're on a journey and we want to do it properly. So we don't want to upset customers by being inauthentic and launching something that's not ready in their market until we truly are ready.
I want to talk a little bit about the importance of design because I think the users will see that in both the CMF line and the main nothing phone line, the design first approach that you guys keep in mind when you're creating these phones. I think I see two kind of main pillars of marketing when it comes to marketing smartphones. It's AI and software, which is I think increasingly becoming like the go-to pillar for a lot of smartphone developers, and then design, right? Like positioning these phones as almost like fashion accessories or like a piece of decor that would fit into a room. Can you talk about the importance of design to nothing?
Of course. So our ID team based in London will probably be able to speak about this far better than I can. But the team is so passionate. And I personally would say that we have the best industrial design team in the world, which maybe is not correct to say, but I believe it. Their team is so consumer centric when they design. So everything on our product has a purpose. We don't put things in just to be a gimmick. It's there to create an intention for the customer and the user at the end of these things. So when the team is looking at designing new products, they look at every form of experience. So they look at how it sits in the hand, how it sits in the ear, the amount of research that is done to make sure that the customer experience is phenomenal. It is truly inspiring across every part of the business. In terms of where design has such an importance is we've noticed that, as you said, technology is treated as an accessory. It's something that, in a smartphone point of view, we spend majority of our days attached to them. From an audio point of view, with hybrid working and modern society, most of the time you have headphones in your ear or a phone in your hand. So for us, the design is so important because it is representing who you are. And whilst we're a technology brand, we see ourselves as a lifestyle brand. By being part of our world, it represents things about you. So it shows that you are well intentioned in your purchases, in how you like things to be done. And you're showing that quite proudly because our designs stand out so much and are so striking. When people see a nothing phone or see a nothing audio, it's very quick for them to understand who it is.
I definitely recommend people who are listening to this who have not like looked at a nothing phone to pull up another tab, keep this one open, and see what they look like because it's an interesting looking phone. Can you talk a little bit about how you balance the two like marketing pillars that I was talking about, AI and software and design in your marketing for these devices. And maybe we can sort of ground this in a recent example of a campaign or an ad that you put out. Because obviously AI is also an important part of how you market these phones too. Can you talk about balancing those two things?
So, as with every tech company, AI is a work stream that is holding importance. Our software team is really working on making an AI, well, we have an AI roadmap that really thinks about the people at the end of it. So, we launched Essential Space with the Phone 3A series that launched in March. Put very simply, we know that everyone sits in screenshots all day. You spend all your day screenshotting things, hoping that you remember them. The brilliance of Essential Space is that it consolidates all of those screenshots and becomes your second memory. So if you've forgotten, you screenshot like a message from your mum to say, hey, in 3 weeks' time, we're going to do a family celebration. You screenshot it, you send it straight to Essential Space. It will then be solidified and be reminded. You will not forget that situation is going to happen, especially with how busy our lives are. And then the designer I've just spoken previously about. But how we make these two worlds work in terms of our marketing is if you look at the look and feel of our creative execution, it's truly for the designers. So we understand that those that are interested in tech specs and things like that respect the level of design that we deliver. So if you look at our brand assets, there's a level of elevation and quality to them that stands out from the industry. We don't create assets that essentially look like other tech companies. From the AI kind of more tech spec point of view, we really treat our customers as an extension of the company. So we activate original content very passionately. So if you spent time on our YouTube channel, most people make the joke of like, is this even a tech company or are they just influencers that are creating content for the fun of it? We are having fun and we want our customers to have fun with us. So we have our original content series that the team is pulsing out very frequently to keep the community engaged, but it is talking about really fun things, such as we did Marquez's dream phone, which we saw was really successful, got multiple millions of views. And we're continuing to do things like that we know that our community and future fans really love because it talks about why we make decisions on our phones, how specs are decided, and the costings behind those things. So it's actually educating the customer about the industry, understanding how nothing lives within the industry, but also how potentially competitors are behaving differently and maybe not with the same level of authenticity that nothing is trying to well, as we present ourselves.
Yeah, I would love to ask a little bit more about your creator and influencer strategy in a little bit. For now, we're going to take a quick break to hear a message from our sponsor.
Looking to grow your business? Tap into millions of monthly active users with DoorDash ads. Whether you're a local favorite or a national brand, our ad solutions help you reach new customers where they are, browsing and buying on the DoorDash app. To learn more, visit about.doordash.com and click Advertise. DoorDash ads. Reach, relevance, returns.
And we're back. I want to chat a little bit about the 3A.
So the Phone 3A series, both the Phone 3A and the 3A Pro, launched in March this year. So it was a global launch, and similarly to the CMF Phone 2 Pro, it launched in America under a beta program. So the demand has been really positive in the US market. So we are transparently replenishing our stocks in the market so that people can have access to the amazing product.
So the 3A is a pretty recent release. I wanted to ask if you could talk a little bit about marketing this product. I would imagine that budget phones are going to play a really interesting role going forward in a lot of smartphone developers' marketing plans. Obviously, it's a crazy economy right now. Anything you can do to position your phone as affordable, I think, is going to do a lot for consumers these days. Can you talk a little bit about your plans and if you have any examples recently of campaigns you've run for the 3A, how you position this device in the market?
The 3A series for us is a mid-tier option within the ecosystem of nothing. So Put very simply, we have the CMF range as our truly accessible, you might say budget. We say accessible. Then we have our A series, which is for our mid-range. And then we have the Phone 2, which is our top tier, and Phone 3 that potentially may come. But in terms of how we approach the 3A series, we protect our design systems. So we ensure that the quality of the product still remains at a very impeccable level, but we pack it full of specs that are competitive to those products that are actually in a higher price point than us. So we're offering the customer the best of both worlds. So they're able to get, as we said, the design and the AI all in one powerful packet. In terms of how we approach marketing to that, we have an approach before we launch. We have a really, as I've said before, a really passionate community that are so in tune with what we're up to. So we start to tease pre-launch around a couple of months before we're launching with a few teasers around maybe what the design looks like, but just small crops and what specs might be in the phone to really get people excited. So we really push owned and earned media really hard. So we know that because we've got really great relationships both with influencer community as well as the traditional press community and new age press community, we really work with them because they're really excited to share our information and we're really excited to share it ourselves. So we start to build up interest that we get covered by news articles, we get reshared, we get social coverage from people curious about what we've got upcoming. We also talk about some of our spec features with our brilliant partners such as Google and Snapdragon that fuel our devices and really kind of get people excited so that they can trust that we're delivering a product that they will love and they will want and really enjoy using. And we do that again through utilizing socials, utilizing our partners, and also utilizing original content. So we don't mind making playful jabs at ourselves. We recognize when we make decisions and we're very honest about why we've made decisions. So sometimes we have to make a decision about a spec choice because we want to protect the price point of the product to make it as accessible as possible for our customer. As we start to build out, we start to do that more and more frequently. So as you start in the tease phase, maybe you hear a bit of news once every week or every 2 weeks. And then we just get more and more teasing until the excitement is there for our launch. We do that across all of our touch points, but we can't behave like our competitors. If we did, we would be forgotten and fall through the cracks. So we really push our owned and earned environments to the brink.
You actually beat me to it. My next question was going to be how important is owned and earned for you guys. Like I said, I think at the start of this chat, I know I've discovered nothing as a brand through tech creators, tech reviewers, websites. How important is that when you look at your overall like media mix, owned and earned? How big is that slice?
Pretty big. For us, since day one, kind of trust and transparency is the main thing for us. And we've built those kind of values into all of our relationships, as you said, with our journalists, creators, and our community. So when we're approaching marketing, we do it with we're doing more with less. We're a small team. Essentially, we're a 4-year-old business, technically a 2-year-old smartphone business, and we're making the impact of behemoths around us. So when we kind of talk about our most powerful moments or where we've really stood out, they're usually, well, they always are earned. They're not paid because we do not have the money to fight like for like. So we cannot beat paid for paid. But when we look at kind of those moments where we've really been successful, we essentially have turned Carl into a tech YouTuber. So if Carl doesn't want to be CEO tomorrow, he's got a great career in being a tech YouTuber and we'll probably have a really great time doing such. We also create the original content, as we said, building the indestructible phone. And for us, I think the highest return that we see is actually the community buzz, the press amplification, and that authentic storytelling, because we know that the people on the ground, meaning our community and our customers, are going to be the best advocates for any product that we ever make. We've seen that work. And in my previous companies, exactly the same thing works. I'm not from a tech background, and that's really important for our company, is that we've got amazing tech experts, but we also have people from lifestyle and fashion. So we kind of amalgamate to create this experience that's amazing for our techies, but also is amazing for our lifestyle and design lovers.
When it comes to your creator and influencer strategy, are you guys mostly sending people phones and just hoping for like positive reviews and they enjoy it? Is there a little bit more paid? How do you guys approach creator and influencer?
So most of it, meaning probably around 95% of it, even sometimes more, is all authentic and organic. We really kind of allow our partners to make those decisions that they want on our products because we're confident enough that they're delivering. The team, from a comms point of view, will give briefings to allow and educate our partners, both influencers and traditional press, on what our product delivers so that they understand these are the things that we're really excited about and really want to celebrate. But we would never tell people what to say or how to say it because that derails us from our core positioning and point of view.
I had one last question I wanted to ask about while we're talking about like earned organic buzz. I know within our own world, the world of, B2B brands and advertising, back in November, you guys got a lot of buzz and attention playing off of a rebrand that Jaguar did at that time. I think their tagline was copy nothing. You guys went and did copy Jaguar, I believe was the play
Correct.
that you guys did. Can you walk me through that decision a little bit? And is that something you guys do very often? Like, are you keeping an eye out for places where you can insert yourself? And how do you decide where to jump in like that?
We're quite agile. We don't have the bridging of layers of approval processes. Oh, no, we need to go and speak to this person or ensure that this, like, to be honest, sometimes, well, most of the time, we don't even tell Carl. We just go and do it. And it's how it happens. It makes us unique. We're very nimble and very, very, how do we say it? Very small team that does a lot of big things. But in terms of how the Jaguar situation kind of came across is Lauren, our social lead, was scrolling and saw this and was like, wait, they're saying copy nothing. We're nothing. Let's just riff on that. So she genuinely jumped on a laptop, redid our logo in the style of the Jaguar logo, updated X, and next thing you know, it's going viral and it's going everywhere. We do that quite a lot in terms of we have a team, everyone is quite inherently online. And I say being inherently online is a great thing. We are all immersed in the world. And because we have such a diverse team from different backgrounds, they're all experiencing different parts of the algorithm. So we've got people that are fully in the fashion space algorithm. We've got those that are truly in the meme algorithm, those in the tech. So you have all of these ideas that are bouncing around that we throw around in the office, and we jump on the ones that we think are going to work from an organic and earned point of view. So a couple of weeks ago, we had the influencer doing his morning routine. And at one point, he put his face in the bowl of ice water. I sadly can't remember the name of the guy, but it was going everywhere on X. Within, I think, about 3 hours, we simply posted a post of our phone in a bowl of ice water, and it got thousands of retweets and thousands of shares and humor. And we do a lot of that because we are actually in tune with culture and we are part of culture, which is you have to be part of something to be welcomed by something. So most of our messaging is we understand what people want to hear and we work within the space. So we're very much, we don't shout at people for them to hear what we want to say. We work with them to say our point of view.
All right, Holly, I think we are out of time, so we'll have to call it there. But thank you so much for joining us on the Marketer's Brief.
More than happy to. Thanks for having me.
That was Hollie Bishop, Global Marketing Director of Product and Growth at Nothing. I'm Brandon Dorr, Brand Marketing Reporter at Ad Age. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Chiardio, and invite you to subscribe to the Marketer's Brief podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We promise we'll keep it brief.
Marketer's Brief listeners get $40 off an adage.com subscription. Sharpen your marketing edge and visit adage.com/brief for your discount.